Here we go again. Now we are doing our second live broadcast from St. Olavsleden. Mostly welcome everyone. Well, we have this beautiful weather. We did last week and we do today. It's 23 degrees, it's 7 o'clock at night, the sky is blue with some few white, beautiful moln, clouds. This is not common for being in May in Sweden, not this part of Sweden. Usually it's much colder, and I've actually heard that some of the pilgrims walking the trail at the moment think it's a little bit too warm because they chose to walk in May because they wanted a colder weather. But you never know what you get when it comes to weather. Well, mostly welcome, and let's move on. My name is Marlene, and behind the camera is my colleague Tilda. She will notice if you have any questions during this broadcast. And if you have questions, please write them in the chat and we will answer them directly for you. Tonight, as you see, we are in the forest. And over here we have our three guests. We have Jonas, Aline and Eva. And you will meet them all later on. We are in Borgsjö, which is almost 90 kilometers away from Ånge, where the pilgrim trail St. Olavsleden starts. And that's where we were last week when we were broadcasting. The trail starts right by a big city, it ends by a big city, and it passes through one big city. But apart from that, this is mostly what you get. The Swedish and Norwegian countryside. Forests and open landscapes and lakes and local people. Beside the trail there is a railway running the same direction from Sundsvall to Trondheim. And also there is a big road, E14, running the same way from Sundsvall to Trondheim. And here in Borgsjö there is this small railway station called Erikslund. So you can get on and off the train going to Sundsvall or to Trondheim. This means that if you don't have the possibility or want to walk the whole 580 kilometers, it is possible to divide your walk into maybe 2 times or 3 times, and then you can walk 1/3 this year and 1/3 the next year, and so on. One person who did not take the train, he walked the whole way from Sundsvall to Trondheim. That is my first guest, who should come now. Jonas, he walked the whole trail. Please come and have a seat over here. And he did it already in 2009 when the trail wasn't restored yet. And Jonas, he knows a lot about pilgrimage, and he knows a lot about the beautiful church in Borgsjö. And it's actually we who should be welcomed by Jonas, because he works here in the church, which is situated just about 1 kilometer from where we are at the moment. So Jonas, mostly welcome.
Thank you very much. Welcome.
Thank you. You know, we are not at the church, and the church is really beautiful. So you know what I did? I brought a picture, and I will show it to the camera, and this is what it looks like. This is not a church from the time of St. Olav. It's much newer, but it's so beautiful. Can you please tell us a little bit about the church?
Yes, it was ready in 1772, and it had been constructed during a period of 8 years. It was in a time where this Borgsjö, where we are, was in a parish together with the other parish further away from here that was called Torp, and they had the same vicar who is actually an old relative of mine. So I have these two churches in Torp and Borgsjö close to my heart. He was called Vasenius, and he ordered it to be built. It was built during the supervision of a man called Daniel Hagberg and Hagman, and he was a very famous builder. It is very famous in the whole of Sweden because it's one of the best kept Rococo style churches in Sweden that still has the original interior. It's if you come to Borgsjö, you will see it. It is close to a place where old Swedish houses is standing. They have gathered them and it's quite a nice area. The churchyard and the well we have here. So this is like it's like a little treasure.
Definitely, and the Sankt Olav trail is passing by the church as well. So on our way here, we passed the church. Inside the church, I have two more pictures since we're not in the church, because I've heard or I know that you have two statues. Can you call them statue or do you call them something else?
No, we call them saint statues, and they are, well, they have them all around the world. Statues of saints and apostles, and so we have two statues in this church, both from the 16th century.
Yeah, so we'll show them. Are they the same age, kind of? Because one looks a little bit older, but they maybe are the same. This first one?
No, that's not it.
No, that's not it.
But that's one. It's from our church.
Ah, sorry. This is the one from your church.
Yes, and we have another one that is very golden, and we have one that's a bit modest also. This one is made by a man that called Gullison, and he made them in the 16th century, probably before the Reformation, because after Reformation not many saint statues were made. The other one was found at the home of locals, and they gave it to the church. We don't know if that one is from the church or not, earlier on, and was given away and have now reunited with the church, or if there was some very Christian farmer that by himself carved or herself carved a statue. But they are both very beautiful and really treasure in the churches.
And do we know for sure that they are pictures of Saint Olav?
Yeah, if you see a statue of Saint Olav, you have sort of clues. He has the crown. He has probably an axe, because he was killed by an axe. The apostles and martyrs often carries the weapon, or that was their bane, so to say. He's also stepping on something, and here he's stepping on a troll, or paganism also, or his brothers who didn't want him as a Christian king in Norway. So this troll that he's stepping on is representing his enemies, both the spiritual and the earthly enemies.
At this time when Olof was in this place, am I correct that this is kind of where the border between Sweden and Norway, Denmark was?
Yes, we are a few kilometers from here. The dark forest appears. So if we travel back in time when Olav entered the havens of Selonger, and he had the permission to collect men who would follow him and try to retake the crown. Probably many people who wanted fame and fortune joined him. There is a bit parallel between Olav and Christ, because Christ also had disciples that you can see during the Testament and the tales there that they wanted fame and fortune. So Olav had the same experience with people who was following, because maybe if he became king, he could take back the crown and they will have a really good job later on. So around here, probably it was closing in on him. He was leaving the safe areas, and this place was filled with outlaws, robbers, and maybe also people who would see he was coming and take the scouting back to Norway and tell his enemies. So probably he wanted his trail here not to be so very loud and noticed.
And this place where we are right now, there is a well, and I think we should go and have a look at it together, please. Right now, someone has built this nice little house over it just to protect it from not having too much garbage, I think, in it.
Yeah, and also if there are tractors taking this road, it won't drop oil in the water. So now the tractors can't come forth anymore.
That's good. If we look down into the water, a well here in Sweden, how would you describe the water coming out?
Well, the water who's coming out it's very clean. In Sweden, if it's pouring water, you can probably almost drink it, but for the sake of the stomach, maybe just stay to the wells. It's very clear if you look at it, and it's a sign of purity.
I know that all stories about St. Olof are stories, but there is one about the well and St. Olof.
Yeah, the tale is that when he was in this area, he took his staff and he put it to the ground, and this well appeared. And if we go back to the Old Testament stories about Moses, you can see that the stories about Moses and Jesus and Olaf interconnected, and the people who lived here, it was like a sign that he was holy, because Moses could bring forth water from rocks, and Olaf found a well here in the forest. It is told that he had a horse that was very thirsty, and that was the reason why they needed a well. And Olaf sat on a stone, and his button made an appearance in the stone. It like sank down, and his horse could pour water into that stone, and it could refresh itself. And that actual stone is still here.
Let's go and have a look at it. 1,000 years from now, it's like a bucket that the horses could drink from. Was it here all the time, or did someone move it here?
I don't know, but when I see the stone, you can see that Olav had really quite a spectacular bottom. And the stone, some of the things here are moved here, and some things are from, it's like in the tales, we don't know when the tales start and the things appears, or vice versa. But that's a part of the mystery.
You have done 2 pilgrimages yourself, one in Spain and one along this trail, but both quite a long time ago. Explain to people who did not do it yet, what is your experience from these 2 pilgrimages? Why did you do it?
The first one was in Santiago de Compostela, and the second one was this trail. When I was first ordained as a priest, I came to this area, and I discovered there is a pilgrimage here, not very marked, and I thought I will give it some weeks and see what happens. My belief is that we're whether we know it or like it or not, are on a pilgrimage. We come to this world and we try to understand what we are doing here, and we are going somewhere, and what does that mean. And So the pilgrim walk is like you complement it, and during a few weeks you give it thought and let questions appear and maybe some answers. Try to find the spirit within and see what it said and what it leads you to. Difficult decision you have to make. Changes in your lives. Changes in your priorities. And I haven't noticed one pilgrim yet who said it didn't affect me at all. No. We are all affected in some way. And sometimes not by the way we thought when we started, is the way we think when we finish. So
it's a really nice way of describing life, that we are on a pilgrimage our whole life.
Yeah, and sometimes wells appear from nowhere, also on those roads in lives. There could be persons and there could be close, quiet areas. So, yeah, we are on a pilgrimage.
And now we are in the forest, in the nature, in Borgsjö, and this is close to your home. Do you enjoy the nature yourself?
Yes, I do. It's like a second cathedral, I used to say. We have the beautiful churches, but they can't match our Heavenly Father's buildings with trees and flowers and Swedes and nature are so connected to each other. It's like you can never take it out of us. And even if you have lived your whole life in the city, you were born there, come out in the nature for a few days and you have found your second home. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jonas, for coming here and for letting us come here.
Yeah, you are. I hope you are blessed in my areas, and I bless you for the rest of the journey later on. So,
thank you. And from that, we will continue with our next guest, and I will go back to the table, and I will invite from Naturum. Naturum is a place. There are 33 different Naturum in Sweden. Come and join me, Aline. And a Naturum, I would kind of describe it as a place where the nature is very specific and nice, and that you can go inside and look at different things according to the nature. You can see the wildlife, you can see the flowers, and you can learn more about the nature. And Aline, you work at the Naturum. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Or thank you for welcoming us the same. We are on our journey and you actually live around here. The forest around Borgsjö, like we are now, describe them. What do we experience when we walk this trail in this area?
Yeah, from here on Borgsjö, it's a lot of forest, mostly spruce and pine trees, and it's quite big forest, and you feel like a lot of places it's quiet and not so many people, so there's silence, and it's beautiful to be in this area.
And also close to this place there is one quite big river that runs through. It's called Ljungan. What do people around here use it for? Is it possible to swim? Do they go fishing?
Yeah, Ljungan is around 400 kilometers, and it's a big river, and you can fish and swim. It gives there's also power craft, so it gives also electricity to us. Really.
And when it comes to swimming, fishing, walking in the forest, we've mentioned it before. We have something which is in Sweden called allemansrätt, or like all man's right. It's an unwritten law that everyone kind of accept here. Can you describe it when it comes to being in the nature?
Yeah, well, it's about to respect nature, and we can pick sorry, you can pick berries and so on, but you also have to respect and not leave garbage and check what, if you are in a special place, what is allowed or not allowed. Like fishing, you can't fish everywhere, so you have to check the rules and so on, depending on where you are. So it's you are free to move in nature, but you also have to be respectful and take the responsibility.
And as a Swede, I think we have this in our heart. But if you're looking and you come from Germany or Holland or somewhere else, just learn about what it is, because it's really nice, but you also need to respect it, as Aline says. In the forest, you can meet some big animals. Actually, we do have some big animals. I wouldn't say you will meet them, but let's go through some of them. What about bear? Do we have bears here?
Yes, we have. They are here around in the forest and in everywhere, like all parts of the country. They are bear. So, but they are not dangerous. So it's really unusual to meet them. And if you meet one, so you are lucky, I think.
Did you see a bear?
Yeah, I did. Only once.
I didn't, and I lived here for 49 years.
Yeah. So they are impressive, but you should not be afraid of them, because it's almost no chance to meet one. They are really shy and can feel you and see you, and they are around. So they just run away.
But I never saw a bear, but I did see very many moose. What about moose?
Yeah, they are really big, and a lot of them in the forest here. And it's a lot of also hunting during the autumn. And so it's an animal that is really important for Swedish people and for represent the Swedish forest, I think. But it's maybe more likely to see one of them.
Yeah. And they are not dangerous also, and you're just lucky if you see them. We have, roe deer or lynx.
Yeah, they are here too, and wolverine and wolf as well. So I would say it's the biggest animals.
And none of them would be dangerous unless you collect them or catch them when they have kids, when they have the small wolves or the small bears. Then they can be a little bit protective, but still you would be lucky if you ever see them.
Yeah, of course, I think they are not dangerous. So it's you won't meet them probably, and if you do, so you can just go back from where you came, and they will just run away and be afraid of you. So
at the moment, we are here in the forest, and if I would go down to the floor, to the ground, I would see some ants, and every now and then we have some mosquitoes here, and we have these small animals. They are not in any way dangerous or anything like that, but they give you something anyway, because it's a part of nature. How would you describe the small ones?
Yeah, it's easy to forget about them, but actually it's really nice to just lie on the ground or just look around near the mosses and the leaves, and to look at them and see what they do, and just take a moment to look closer to these small insects. And it can be dragonflies or ants or beetle. There are a lot, much more than you can think, and they are quite impressive if you look closer to them, how they can take a small small things in the mouth and go and bury that like an ant. It's quite impressive, actually, when you look closer.
Actually, when we opened the little door to take the stamp for our pilgrimage passport, there was this bee coming out. And when we looked, there is this little home for bees. So before we leave today, we will help the rest of the pilgrims to take that away, because you don't want to be swarmed by bees when you open it. But that's what happens. They make their homes wherever they want to. In this area, along the trail, pilgrims will soon, in this direction, come to a big sign of waterflies, of butterflies. I know there is a question, I think. Let's have the question. Tilda, what's the question? Does it take about 30 days to walk the whole route? About 30 days, yes, that's correct. It really depends on how many nights you want to just have a resting night or resting day, and how far you want to go every day. But most people do it in about 1 month. Yes. Good, thank you. More questions, please. The butterflies. Yeah. There is an area for butterflies here.
Yeah, it's a really good area for butterflies, actually, and there are a lot of species here. And the most, the specific thing is that it's really lime-rich soil around here in this area, so there are a lot of plants and herbs that the butterfly likes, so there are a few rare plants and then rare butterfly then. So they try to to preserve all these species, because it's a lot of biodiversity of butterflies, and it's a bit special area for that, actually.
I didn't have time, but I was going to say to Tilda to come and film, because you had a ladybug, but that was now it's here. The ladybug is on your sleeve.
Nice. Yeah, that was nice, that it comes just now.
6 points.
Yeah, I see only 4, but
4 points. She's probably right. She has glasses, I don't. Well, let's talk about not this beautiful little ladybug, but let's talk about the mosquitoes, because there are mosquitoes here, and I know that many people, especially from other countries, ask about the mosquitoes. What do we do? How should we protect ourselves? Are there many of them? When do they come? How would you describe them?
Yeah, annoying. Yeah. Yeah, nobody likes mosquitoes, but they are here, and you have to live with it. It's not much to do about it. You can have some mosquito repellent, or just if you think it's really annoying and there are lots, you can have maybe a mosquito net around the head or something, but otherwise it's not so much to do. But if you maybe want to stay for a small break or to put your tent, maybe you can choose good places, and maybe not where it's wet or near lake. It could be more mosquitoes there, but yeah, it's really local, so it's, even if you think, oh, maybe here it's a good place, sometimes they come anyway. So
And I think we all know that they come more at night than daytime, because they don't really like the sun as much as they like the shadow and, as you say, wet places. So maybe they will come even though you think they are not there from the beginning.
Yeah, it could be like that as well. Yeah.
But as we said, there are actually, I like it. I have a hat with a mosquito net. It looks kind of funny, but it works. So that's good. It's a good way, because then they don't go into your face. And also, why I'm dressed with long sleeves and long legs is also good for the mosquitoes.
Yeah, exactly. It's good to have clothes there.
What would you say is your own personally best experience in nature?
Oh, that's a big question. No, but I really enjoy being in nature, and especially outdoor life, and it can be hiking or
Canoeing or
Canoeing.
biking, maybe things like that. Yeah.
Yes, and then, but I think I like to be active in nature, but I also really like to just stop and look around me and listen to nature. I think it's really nice.
I do too. Listen to nothing is a good thing. We have another question.
About mosquitoes. Are there more mosquitoes in August or September?
Are there more mosquitoes in August than September? What would you say?
Yeah, it's more in August than September. So I would say September is nice.
The earlier in summer, the more mosquitoes, I would say. Yes, another question.
Is it okay to wild camp and have an open fire if I clean everything afterwards?
Is it okay to wild camp and have an open fire if I clean everything afterwards?
Yeah, that's a good question. So first the tent, you can put your tent almost where you want, but it's not allowed to be too close to houses, and so, but if you are along the forest, then you can just put your tent for a night.
For one night is okay.
Yeah, of course, no problem. Then for the fire, so you can't. You can do a fire, but you can't do a fire on which soil. It depends of the soil. You can't do a fire on
on the stone.
On the stone, you can't do the fire, and then sometimes it can be really dry. So it's not so a good idea to make a fire, because it could just start a forest fire.
We actually have authorities that do come out every now and then and say it's not okay to make a fire, it's not allowed, it's forbidden totally. So if it has been dry for a long time, there will be forbidden.
So I would say it's good to check what's just now, like if you are if you are allowed to make fire or not, and then if you feel like you have enough knowledge to know where and it's good to do a fire or not, so it's okay. But there are actually some places that are done to make fires, and sometimes near here there's a nature reserve, for example, and there is wood and a place to make fire. And so I would recommend to choose these kind of places, because there are few along the trail and it's really nice.
I agree. Let's stick to the fireplaces.
Yeah.
Let's say that's the best. Well, you are working at Naturum, and I hope that pilgrims that passes through do it when you're open, so that they can come in and look what you have inside. Just give them a picture of what they find if they come to you.
Yeah. So Naturum, there we want to give inspiration and knowledge about the nature in this area, and so you come into a kind of museum with there are animals and information and everything about nature, and we are there to answer questions and help you. About anything. So it's a nice meeting place to just talk about nature, outdoor, and then we have also a tourist information at the same place. So we can also answer other questions as how to say where you can sleep or so on. And we have a small pilgrim center as well, with a bit of the history around St. Olaf and so on. So yeah, it's a really nice place to be.
At the moment, I think you're open Thursday through Sunday, but you will open more in the summer. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So now it's Thursday to Sunday, only from 12 to 4, and from 8, now I hope I say right, but from the 8th of June, so we will be open from 10 to 5 every day.
Great. So if you pass through, please visit Naturum. Yes. Thank you very much, Aline, for joining us this evening with this beautiful weather at this beautiful place.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I have one final guest tonight. I think I will change my spot because I think Eva needs to be closer to all this. Eva has run her own business. Her company is called Skogens Sköna Gröna. And if I translate it into English, that would be the beautiful green of the forest. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
So we have all this bunch of products that you have made. But tell us a little bit, your company, Skogens Sköna, what do you do there during the day?
The lovely green forest. I produce different products from the forest. I never thought I would be a food producer, but I made a very big mistake. And the chefs and bartenders in Sweden find a new product and they wanted it more and more and more and more. So I had to start a little small factory. Because I started with this product, gran syrup.
Do we know what gran is? It's a fir tree, so fir syrup.
Fir syrup. You can you can say it's similar to maple syrup, but maple is from a leaf tree, and this is a bar tree. So I use these young spruce needles and make this product. I also have it in a bottle there. But I also make this product.
Let's stay with the syrup just for a moment. What do you eat it with?
You eat it with cheese, very tasty. You put it on pancakes, on ice cream. You make a lot of good drinks with and without alcohol.
And you say you use the
on the moose meat. It's super duper.
The moose meat. You said you use the sprouts. Is this only the sprouts, like the newly ones, or do you use the whole fir?
No. It's this small product. Now they are quite young, but we had such a warm spring, so they come very fast. You see, they are in these trees also, but they will be a little bit taller. And so now, when I'm not sitting here with you, I'm out in the forest. In my forest, that's the thing we have to talk about. We have something called allemansrätt in Sweden. So if you own your forest, or you have asked the owner, then you can pick. Otherwise, it's illegal.
You cannot pick things that are alive, kind of thing. Some flowers you can pick, but not from trees.
And berries, blueberries, lingon, so on you can pick, and flowers. But this would are on the tree, you can't pick. But I can.
And now, since you picked them from your forest, you can treat me with one, because these are eatable, right?
Yes. It's a lot of C-vitamin. In very old days.
Sorry. I was eating too much, the vitamin C.
Okay. In very old days, this, what do you call the gran in English? Fir. It didn't have any name. So they called this very important tree for the tree. And it has a lot of C-vitamin and a lot of antioxidants. So it's a very important product important tree for food, for everything, for surviving.
And now I stopped you because I like the syrup so much, but you have something else here.
This is it's the same, but that's a syrup, and this is what we are. These spruce needles in a pickled way, and that is also tasty for cheese and for meat. On pâté, it's super duper also. So,
and you had some flowers. We talked about that as well. Yeah.
Interrupt you. This is a spruce salt, and this is very tasty on. So they are dry and small, very tasty on boiled egg in the morning. So on the journey, I put this in front of you now because here you can taste this area, which is put into this box with English text on it. So here you have all the spruce syrup, the pickled spruce, and the spruce salt. You have the journey completed in it.
All made from the nature with nothing else but nature inside, right? Yeah. No preservatives.
No. All producers of handmade food in Sweden, we don't think of anything else but produce pure products. There are sugar and there are salt, but there are also preservative.
Yeah, you have flowers.
sad flowers. We have this maskros in English, you say?
Dandelion.
Oh. And that one is good to make a syrup. But I forgot, I made it for you today, but I forgot the syrup. It's very tasty on cheese. And here we have the saddest of sad. But this is a very tasty flour product like this. This is rallarros or mjölkört in Swedish.
Yes, it's just actually translated. It said rallarros, so maybe it doesn't have an English name, but it's a flower which is quite tall,
and it's purple or pink in the summertime. And this, when it's in this size, it's like asparagus.
Asparagus.
Yeah. So then you can clean it, and you can take off this part, and then you fry it in the pan. Yeah. With some garlic and some salt and good oil. This is very tasty, or butter. Very good.
And I think you told me before that this asparagus, I never heard it before because I didn't know it, but I think that it's also a tradition from the Sami people.
It is. I learned it from a Sami woman. So this is one delicious thing in the forest, just. And everyone can pick it, so it's okay.
And also you took away the little leaves. I think can you make tea of them?
Yes. But these are tiny now. You can wait a bit, then they will be wide as 1 centimeter. Then it will, if you dry this and make a tea later on, it will be nothing left.
So now it's asparagus, later on you can make tea.
And I usually make a pink lemonade from the red pink flowers, yeah.
Wow. And you do have some lemonade that you were going to treat me, I think.
And that lemonade is from, where did we put them? Do we have them here? We have some, no? Here we have them. This is also, we are now in the springtime. So this is the leaf of the älgört.
Moose herb.
Yes, moose herb. I don't think the moose likes this flower. I don't know, because they leave them in the forest. There are a lot of them. They are 1 meter high. They are white. So I call it like a fairy. It's a fairy älvdrottning, like
The queen of the river.
yeah, exactly. So this is a very tasty. In old times, now you have a story here. In old times, they took this flour and cleaned the pan when they were making their own liquor. So then they wouldn't have any headache, because this flour has acetylsalicylsyra. I hope it's the same in English. So it's you can drink this lemonade if you're walking and having headache. Then you drink a little, or make tea of the flowers or the leaves from a flower. Mm.
So do you make, this is the drink that you have made, and I think it's from this bottle here, and then you have mixed it with what?
Oh, the best water from the well, yeah, in St. Olof's, Borgsjö. Mm.
So your juice with the water from the well is mixed in here, and I think I will have a taste, because I did not try yours before. I want to do it now when we do it live.
We will try. Yeah, please do.
I like it. You like it? Oh, and I'm gonna try to describe it. Actually, you said before, and I agree, that it does taste a little bit like almond.
Yeah, it has a almond flavor in it. Yeah, but there's no almond in it. And we are going to test something more. Are you in for some cheese?
I am. What about inviting Jonas and Aline? Maybe they would like some cheese. Please come and join us.
And we have some more products also to talk about or show. This is something which will be very popular now for midsummer. You add this is flavors from my garden or from the forest, and here you add alcohol, and then you have the midsummer schnapps. Mm.
You know, midsummer in Sweden is like the biggest thing. Everyone celebrates this, and we eat special things, and we dance around the maple, and we have flowers, and we do drink the schnapps.
Yeah, exactly. This is cheese which I picked up before I came here tonight. This is from Strömmen, and they are one of, I think, 3 in whole Sweden who are sheep producers. So they make cheese, very famous for the cheese. And now I hold Bergåsen from Strömmens. But today I tasted their ice cream. They have started to make ice cream.
Cheap ice cream?
Yeah, yep. So
what do? We put some syrup on this?
We take the cheese like it is, and we add some syrup. I put some spoons there. You have a white spoons. You can add as you. So take cheese. Say cheese.
Go ahead and try it.
Yeah, try it. And you have the lemonade. You can try that one too.
So, when they are trying, we can continue talking a little bit. Yes, we will watch them. That's perfect. When people come here and they pilgrimage and they go in the forest, it's not easy to know what you can eat and not to eat, is it?
No, it isn't. But I can help them if they want. I like to inform. I like to create. I want the pilgrims' journey in our region to be the most lovely reason to be here, because I enjoy the nature here, and I enjoy to use the nature, and I enjoy to tell about it, because along the trail it's beautiful, but it's even more beautiful some kilometers away from here. Then it opens up other areas, other waters.
Well, if you cannot find Eva and ask her about what to eat, maybe you should not eat things around yourself, because yes, we have to check it. It's not that we have much dangerous stuff, but there are definitely some flowers and some things that you should not eat, right?
Yeah, and some mushrooms, the red one.
The mushrooms, don't pick them if you don't know what you're doing.
But there are delicious mushrooms also in this area. I don't know if it's exactly here, but and there are some, we have to tell that also, there are some fantastic orchideas, flowers here, and you are not allowed at all to pick them. But there are signs in some places to explain what rare flowers it is. So that's interesting.
I am trying now.
Yeah, you're trying.
Yeah, it tastes like fir tree, but in a good way.
Yeah, in a very good way. Some people say it tastes a little bit like smoke and forest, and they get. When I did that in the forest, when I walking that way, so it has memory in the taste. It's a fantastic product.
And what do we have now?
Here we have the spruce, these young needles, which I have made for you as pickled, so you could put it on your finger or on a spoon. And this is also, or on the cheese. It's tasty with the cheese. It's tasty with meat. It's very popular in Christmas time in different restaurants all over Sweden, and I produce it for them.
In every province in Sweden, they have their own flower. And you were talking about the orchid. When you go into Jämtland, which is the next province from here, it's an orchid. But in here, in Medelpad, as this one is, it's not a flower. What flower is it?
It's this one. The fir tree. And that was one of the reasons, because I'm from this area, and all the others are so beautiful, and this is huge. But if I make it like a bottle, I thought, when I made this product, then we at least can put it on the table. Yeah. So I started to sell it like this, same taste in 2 different shapes. But now, since 1 year, I found this bottle, and it's more as a gift. And then, since a couple of weeks, I found this product and this bottle. So now I have the tiny one. And it's like in Canada, you have the maple syrup in tourism bottles. This is almost the same. I don't have an etiquette on it yet, just my spruce, my fir, but it will come. And then it will be a product. Because these products, I can tell, they are in Selånger, in the shop there. They are also in Borgsjö at the Borgsjö Strand, the restaurant. And they are in Aline's shop and place Naturum. And it's also on the sheep farm, in their store. And then another place nearby the trail is Hotel Emma in Östersund. If you want a really good breakfast with local products from Jämtland and Medelpad, then you should you don't have to live at Emma, but you can live at Emma. It's a very nice place. But you can go there and eat your breakfast. And then you get everything, the best. You get the bread, the cheese, sausage and marmalades. And so.
All made with no additives, I think.
Yes.
And of course, your syrup as well.
Yeah.
And Hotel Emma is just in the middle of the city, so it's very easy to go there because you kind of pass through when you walk the trail.
Yeah. And for me, it's so, I don't even think about saying that it's no additives, because it's normal that we don't use it. We who are the small producers, we are proud for that.
Well, I think we've talked about all that you have, and maybe you have more at home, but thank you so much. You do.
I think I do around 50 different products over the year. Yeah.
What would you say is your favorite, maybe product, but what is your favorite plant?
My favorite plant.
Has to be the fir.
Yeah, exactly. What should I say? It's the fir. But I like lingon, blueberry, and cloudberry, of course. Cloudberry. That is also, that should have been our flower in the, contra the other regions, because cloudberry is so unique and so tasty and yellow. Good.
And to the pilgrims, if they walk here in, I would say late July and August, then you will find the blueberries, you will find the cloudberries, and later on you will also find the lingonberries, and it's free to pick, so you can definitely just eat it. We have a question.
Can we please see the name of the drink again that helps with headaches?
Ah, the name of the drink.
Älgört or älvdrottning, it's my name for it. We have a competition in Sweden, I can just mention it. We have a competition for local food with no additives. And that year I won the silver medal for this one. So it's okay.
It's probably a really good one since you won the silver medal. And we did try to have an English translation, so moose herb, like a herb that moose would like, but we don't know if the moose like it, but that's the translation, älgört.
And some people say something like meadowsweet in the near of that. And if there are some pilgrims who want a meeting with me, I'm not so far away from Borgsjö, so I can come and give them a lesson or whatever they want in food, or a tasty table like this. It's that's my heart burning for. Yeah, so that would be very interesting to show our best from this region, Medelpad.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Eva, and also thank you to Jonas and Aline for being here. And I think the time is running up, I think, and we have one more stop next Tuesday. As you know, we will be in a place called Revsund, and that will be at 7 o'clock on Tuesday the 4th of June, and we will dig into how to book and use accommodation if you are hiking the trail, because it's not really easy for everyone to know how to do it. So we will dig into that subject, and I really hope that we will find 1 or 2 pilgrims that by that time have done maybe 1/3 of the trail already, and see what their experiences is. So see you next week again.